Hello Lomzy team, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lomzy. Today's sewing tutorial will be on this trendy jumpsuit. It's going to be the cutting and stitching of the jumpsuit. So relax and enjoy the tutorial. If this is your first time coming across my channel, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my sewing tutorials. And remember to always follow me on my social media handles, and you can join my Facebook group Sewing Tutorial by Lomzy and share anything you want to. Now for today's tutorial, let's go sewing. First, I am going to be cutting the front part and then later I'll cut the back. I have placed two fabrics together because it's just the front I'm cutting first now, and we're going to work straight on the fabric. So when you place your material like this, then you go ahead and take down your horizontal measurements. So we are going to be taking off inches because it's an off shoulder or is a spaghetti dress, right? So we're taking off 5 inches, and that's where I'm going to be marking my first line. And the next line is the armhole depth, which is 9 inches. I'm going to be marking it there like that. And then the waistline, I'll mark the waistline 18 inches. Mark it there like that. And then the hip line, which is 25 inches, I will mark it there. The next one will be the body rise, which is the crotch length. I'm going to be marking it there like that, which is 30 inches. And then the final one is the length of the jumpsuit. So the next thing we'll do is to get the center front. We're going to be making that 7 inches. So you mark 7 inches from the salvage of the fabric. You mark that all the way down. So let me label some of the lines so that you understand. This is the waistline. This is the armhole depth. And that's the crotch area. You know, the hips is before the crotch, so that's the crotch. And this line is the line for the center front. The line I just marked 7 inches. That's where we're going to be starting our measurement from. Next is to get the body measurement, and body measurement we are using is 46 inches. We divide that by 4, we'll get 11.5 inches, and we're going to be adding 1 inch easing allowance and ½ inch sewing allowance, which will make it 13 inches. And I'm going to be marking it there, and I'm going to be taking it up. You know, you square it up and down, and then you shape the side seam. So I'm going to be taking 1 inch in on the bust line, and I'm going to be taking 1.5 inches on the waistline. Then I'll connect all these lines, and then I'll flay out the lower parts. Next is to get the width of the neckline I'm working with, and I'm using my bust pan to get that. My bust pan is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4, and I'm going to be adding 1 inch to that so that it's a bit wider, which will make it 5. So I'm going to be marking it there like that, and I'm going to be connecting this to the armhole to get the armhole curve. And then I mark the neckline depth, which is 8 inches. I connect that like that, and then I mark the curve for the crotch area, so I'm going to be connecting it like so. So simple, right? Then I take in the inside leg like that. Yeah, life is that easy. Remember to curve the side of the leg so you don't have a sharp edge there. So I'm going to be cutting out the front, and after cutting out the front, I will use it to now cut for the back. So now I have this fabric like this. You know, this is a part of the excess I have from the other fabric, so I'm going to be placing my front on this side, making sure I leave some space for easing allowance I'm going to be adding to the back. On the crotch line, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches, and at the back I will add 2 inches, so I'm going to be taking it up like that. And from the neckline, I'm going to be coming up 3 inches or 3.5, anyways, 3.5 inches, and then you connect back to the curve line. You take it down like that, and from the waist you take out again 2 inches outwards like that, all the way to the hemline. and also to the inside leg, you bring out 2 inches. So I'm going to be cutting out this back pattern. Then on the front, I'm going to be notching it for the side pocket. I have a video on how to attach a side pocket, so you go ahead and learn how to do that. So I'll mark 9 inches from the armhole depth for the pocket, side pocket. So next is to go to my machine and sew the center front line. I'm going to be closing here. So after closing the center front, the next is to go and cut for the facing, because I want the front facing not to have any cuts in the front. So I'm going to be placing it like this and cut out the facing for the front. And for the back, I'm not going to be closing it, so I have just cut out the facing for the back like that with it open. And I'm going to be closing it like this, but before I close it, I will insert the spaghetti strap under it. Yes, I have a strap I have made, but if you want, you can use bias like this. So if you're using bias, you can actually just fold it once like that and run thread on it. It will be as slim as what you have on the thumbnail, but that's not what I'm using. I made this strap that I want to use, and the strap length I'm using is 9 inches, and I'm going to sandwich it between the lining and the main fabric. So I'm going to be inserting this strap here, and then I close the front neckline like that. So make sure you add the second part. So I'll go to my machine and run that. So after sewing it, this is how it will look. See how neat it is? Yeah, so the next thing you have to do is to also do the same thing to the back. And before you do that to the back, you have to sew the zip. I have a video on how to insert an invisible zip. So you go ahead and insert a zip at the center back on this place. Then you now close the lower part. So I will insert it now and show you how it looks. So this is it. I have inserted the zip on it. You see the zip? So now is to put the strap for the back. I'll place it like so. Make sure there is not tangled. So you make sure it's straight like that, and you put it there like so. And make sure the two of them are equal. Remember, it's 9 inches for the strap. So I'm going to be putting it like this, and I will place the facing on top of it. So you do that to the other side. So I'll go ahead and sew this now. So just like the front, I'll go ahead and close the neckline and sandwich that strap. Also close the armhole curve. So once I'm done doing that, this is how it will look. Make sure your strap is not twisted. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and sew the side seam. So I'll place it like that and sew the side seam. I've already added the side pocket. Like I told you, I have a video on how to insert a side pocket. So go ahead and insert that and close the side. So I'll be closing the two sides now. Remember to follow me on my social media handles: Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter, all at Lomzy Sews. And also, if you want to join my Facebook group, Sewing Tutorial by Lomzy, you can join that. I'll be dropping all the link in the description section. So once I'm done joining the two sides, the next thing to close lastly is the crotch line. So you place the front and the back together like this and sew it all the way. Let me open it up and show you so you understand what I mean. So you sew it all the way like that, And once you're done sewing it, the next thing is to hem the leg. Let's see what we made. Guys, can you see how beautiful this is? So guys, you can go ahead and make this for your loved ones. Please share with me on my social media handles any of the tutorials you have made out of my sewing tutorial. And remember to turn on your notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my sewing tutorials. Now see you in my next video. Bye.